Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. On behalf of Institute for Future Education, Entrepreneurship, and Leadership, I welcome you all. I'm extremely grateful to the organizing team of iFEEL for taking this initiative of starting Academy Keynote series. And in particular, I'm very grateful to Dr. Barange, Deputy Director of the Institute, for his continuous support and patronage. Once again, I would like to ask, I believe I'm audible and my slides are visible to you. Am I audible and my slides are visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So once again, a very good morning and welcome to iFEEL Academy Keynote Series. Let's begin an important reality that every student, parent, and aspiring professional should know. The job market is evolving faster today than at any point in the history. The rules of the games are changing fast, particularly in the world of finance. Employers are increasingly looking for professionals who can create value from day one. The financial leaders of tomorrow won't be the people who understand numbers. They'll be the professionals who can interpret data, make strategic decisions, manage risk, leverage technology, and drive business growth. And this brings me to a very important point. In today's competitive world, having a degree is no longer enough. And that's exactly why we are here to get today, because the biggest question isn't whether finance is a good career or not. The real question, according to me, is how do you position yourself for tomorrow's finance opportunities? With technology reshaping businesses, finance has emerged as one of the most impactful and sought after career domains. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore a possible roadmap for your future. We'll explore finance industry trends, career opportunities, employer expectations, the value of a chartered financial analyst and NISM certifications, and how PGDBM Finance Pro Program can help you in building your industry readiness. In this context, as a expert on this topic, my goal today is very simple. By the end of the session, I want you all to have a complete clarity about your career ambitions and the future you want to build for yourself. So, as such, we have, because of the technical glitch, the session started late. So, let's discover what the future for finance really looks like. I want you all to carefully look at the slides, especially the three numbers that are in front of you. 170 plus countries recognize the CFA credentials. A network of more than 2 lakh chartered financial analysts working in companies like Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, HDFC AMC, CRISIL, and earning between 8 to 10 lakhs per annum at the entry and mid career levels. This 10 to 30 lakhs is internationally. I mean, I've considered 8 to 20 from the Indian perspective. And here, what I want you to remember, an MBA or a PGDBM gets you through the doors. CFA and NISM certification helps you stand out, contribute from day one, and get noticed by the employers. CFA and NISM certifications help recruiters in recognizing your professional industry readiness. So this brings me to the agenda for today's talk. Don't get that I'm going to take a lot of time. See if I have structured today's session around 8 themes with only one purpose to give you the clarity. We'll begin by exploring the opportunities in finance and why it remains one of the most promising career fields today. We'll uncover the growing talent gap between what employer needs and what most graduate offers. We'll then discuss why traditional degrees alone may no longer be enough in a fast-paced evolving finance industry. And after that, we'll explore the CFA advantage and what it is and why it is globally respected and how it can accelerate your career. And finally, we will dive into the PGDBM Finance Program before concluding with the practical 5 years career roadmap. By now, you must be wondering, is the session going to be a sales pitch? And my honest answer to the is absolutely no. I'm here to inform you, to convince you, to think of this as a conversation, to think this talk as a conversation. Feel free to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and draw your own conclusions. My purpose is just to keep you informed that what is happening as far as finance industry is concerned. The finance opportunity. The big question comes, why finance? And I get this question all the time. Allow me to share some perspective. India is witnessing unprecedented financial transformation with the record market participation, booming SIP investments, and the world's participations and the world's third largest startup ecosystem. The demand for finance professional has never been greater. Every decade has its defining career trends. It was engineering in 90s, ITs in 20s, data science in 2010, and for 2020 and 2030 onwards, it is finance, especially for the professionals who can contribute market expertise with technology. So this is going to be your decade. And the question is not that what you should opt for finance. The real question is, are you positioned to seize the opportunity ahead? You can see the key numbers on the screen, and according to McKinsey, India's banking, financial service, and insurance sector is projected to reach 2 trillion by 2030. And that's a big number. To put this into perspective, BFSI, that is banking, finance, financial services, and insurance, is already one of the India's largest employer. As the sector expands, the demand for professionals such as analysts, portfolio managers, risk specialists, equity researchers, relationship managers, and financial advisors will grow significantly. Capital markets, if you can look at the right side of the screen, have grown 5 times since 2020. Fintech is projected to reach 200 billion by 2030. High net worth individuals HNI wealth is growing and expanding at 12% CAGR. And ESG investing has already crossed 30,000 crores asset under management in India. This is not a growth in one segment. It is a growth across the entire finance ecosystem, from capital markets to fintech to wealth management and ESG investing. The opportunity is not concentrated in one area. The financial ecosystem is growing rapidly, creating multiple potentials career pathways. The finance industry needs more skilled professionals than the market currently produces, making this perfect time for you to enter the field. The talent gap. This is one of the most important section of today's conversation, and I want you to approach it with a very open mind because what I'm about to show you might be uncomfortable. It might challenge your assumptions you had about a finance degree, what means. Every year, thousands of students complete management degree program with a finance specialization and struggling to meet industry expectations because the education hasn't kept pace with the changing world of finance, as I said in the beginning of this session. The challenge isn't talent or effort, it's the relevance. Mostly finance graduates are learning from curriculum designed for finance industry that no longer exists. And that's a very big surprise. The world has changed, the recruiters have changed, the tools have changed, the expectations have changed, but the curriculum at most of the B schools, with all due respect, has not yet evolved. And as a result, the gap between what employer expects and what graduate deliver is getting wider every year. Look at the slide. It says 80% of the finance graduate lack the skill employers actually need. It took me a lot of time to compile this presentation because it is from the perspective. The purpose is to inform you and keep you updated, right? This data I have taken from CII Honest and Young Employability Report 2024. I wanted to read it carefully. Go to the right side of the screen. 74% of the employers say finance graduate lack financial modeling skill. I hope you all must be familiar with what financial modeling skills are. 3 out of 4 employers report that the graduate lack critical financial skills, particularly in investment analysis, capital market, data analytics, and the CFA level expertise. Here's now what's interesting. Read the code at the bottom, right? It says employers want graduate with real investment knowledge and globally recognized credential. The challenge, the most MBA finance graduate enter the market without strong investment knowledge. And this quote directly answers the question many of you might be asking, like, why can't I just do regular MBA and then learn on the job? The answer is very, very simple if you are reading lots of information uh, available in the public domain. Employers no longer have the time or inclination to train you from scratch. Since beginning, I'm talking about they want a ready to deploy people. Employer seeks candidate for the proven world record finance experience and not just academic rigor. So why MBA and PGDM degree fall short? I wanted to be very clear before I delve into the discussion. I'm not saying that MBA or PGDM programs are bad. All I'm saying is that finance world has evolved faster than most other programs have. And if you're going to build a high growth career in finance, then you need to understand that this evolution and accordingly you position yourself. The fundamental of valuation, risk, and capital allocation are timeless and they remain the same. But the problem is the tools have changed, the depth of analysis has become more rigor, and the credential expected have changed dramatically. Let me show you exactly how. A decade ago, an MBA degree and a basic finance knowledge were often enough to secure a role. And today, employers expect a candidate to arrive with a CFA Level 1 knowledge, strong valuation skills, and hands on experience in financial modeling. I've compared the situation, from 2010 to 15, and as of now, from 24 to 2030. Earlier, companies invested heavily in training fresh recruits. Today, the responsibility has shifted to the candidates. Recruiters expect job ready professionals who can contribute from day one with the practical exposure to equity research, credit analysis, portfolio management, and life finance projects. The message is very, very simple and clear. The finance industry no longer hires for potential alone, it hires for how well you are prepared for the new opportunities. Today's recruiters expect ready to deploy analysts, and they call this, in professional terms, industry readiness. This brings me to the topic which I wanted to share with you. The CFA and NISM is source courses and certifications are going to bridge the gap which have been noticed so far. You've probably heard of CFA and NISM certification, I'm sure. But beyond the name, few of you might understand what the demand and the career advantage they can create. CFA and NISM are more than certification. They are career differentiator. Please watch my words very carefully. Yet most aspiring finance professionals don't fully understand their true value and impact. Often I met students who say, I'll do CFA after my management degree. And I have also met students who say CFA is very, very hard. Each of these statements silently talks about a missed opportunity because the right time to engage in CFA level training and knowledge is during your management degree and not after that. That's exactly what PGDM Finance Pro Program has been built to deliver. But before I get there, let me make sure you understand what CFA actually is, because the more you understand, the more you will appreciate why it matters so much to the employers. Have a look at the slide. CFA program, the global standards in finance, we call it, as it's being divided into 3 levels. Look at the left side of the screen. Level 1 builds a strong foundation in investment analysis covering valuation, equity, fixed income securities, and a lot of emphasis is given on ethics. Remember, I used the word ESG when I was talking about how the market, how the financial ecosystem is evolving. ESG stands for environmental sustainability and governance, and one of the key aspect of the governance is ethical practices. Level 2 focuses on advanced valuation techniques. We'll talk about derivatives and alternative investments, like real estate investments, and things like that. Level 3 emphasizes wealth management, risk management, and portfolio strategy. So if you look at all the three levels, as I have been talking about, the way the things are growing, like say for instance, HNI, higher network individuals, wealth is increasing at the 12% CAGR. So you find that there is a lot of emphasis on wealth management. How do you create portfolio for these individuals? So together, these levels cover essentially everything in finance. You need to know to operate at the highest level of the industry. The CFA value comes from its rigor, just like the same rigor you earlier used to be in the chartered accountancy program. Only 40% of candidates pass, making one of the most respected credential in finance, and it's a strong signal of your competence to the employer. Now, many students ask me, do I need to pass all three levels to benefit from CFA? And the answer of mine is absolutely not. Even a CFA level training and preparation, the knowledge you gain, the analytical framework you develop, the credibility it signals on your resume is transformative. I'll just give a small example. You're facing an interview, let's say, for instance, the company on the campus is HDFC, AMC, or a leading investment bank, as a matter of fact. And you tell those recruiters that you have completed your CFA level training 1 during your management degree program. Trust me, this is not a normal statement. This is a conversation changing statement. You try it out. The moment you say that, that's a big differentiator from your perspective. When you tell the recruiters that you have done the training, so when you've done the training means you are being exposed to the various analytical frameworks, ethics, and various aspects which are professionally required at the entry level if you're trying to enter into the finance dome. This brings to the next level, which is talking about the PGDM Finance Pro. The PGDM Finance Pro is not just another finance specialization. Let me make it very clear to you. It is built to create finance professionals, not finance graduate. As I rightly mentioned in the earlier, I'm not against the program. I'm not against any degree. I'm not against any university. The idea is the type of industry which you wanted to, or which you are targeting, which is finance domain, is evolving very fast. So unless and until you keep the pace with the evolution of the industry, you will be lacking behind. PGDM Finance Pro bridge the gaps between what finance industry needs and what graduate brings to the table. Every component of this program is purposefully designed for industry readiness. Everything in this program is carefully structured to maximize your career opportunities. Instead of guessing what was the logic behind this program, so instead of guessing what employers need, the PGDM Finance program is shaped by real recruiters' demand. I've just brought this slide not to put this conventional PGDM or MBA degree down, but rather to give in comparative analysis as to why PGDM Finance Pro is better than the conventional one. I love this slide because it removes all ambiguity. And let's go through this row by row. And as you do, I want you to ask yourself, which of these columns describes the graduate you want to be? Right. So if you look into this slide, you will find that CFA level training that's there in the Finance Pro. So all ticks are there. You can read it. I'll leave the presentations for your reference. So if you see that level training in the conventional program is not there, there is no global credentials, right? The focus of the conventional MBA program is more on basic theory. Then faculty expertise, you will normally find that the people who are from the academic domain only, some may have the experience from the industry, but by and large they are from the academic front. Live industry projects, again, they're limited, and placement readiness, that's a generic MBA pool because you are a part of the commodity type of a person, right? And salary benchmarking, 5 to 8 lakhs on an average. And but when you talk in terms of the PGDBM Finance Pro, and it's added with the CFA Level 1 training, you'll find that integrated, you'll get the faculty expertise. You will simultaneously will be preparing for your CFA level exam, level 1 exam. You will not only learn theory, you will apply what is discounted cash flow, what is leveraged by out, and you will try to create portfolios also. You will be coached by the CFA professionals who are having more than 10 years of experience in that field. You will get the chance to work on a live equity research and deals, and so on. And surprisingly, the salary package moves on from 8 to 18 lakhs, depending upon the level of your preparation, right? So, what you get uh, from the PGDBM Finance Pro program, right? So, the PGDBM Finance Pro is built on 5 pillars. If you look into it, the 5 pillars are CFA integrated curriculum. We have talked about it. Expert CFA faculty will be training you. You will have applied finance lab where you do hands-on experience, from the real data from the industry. Then there is an industry immersion. You will find that the people will be coming from the industry and sharing their experiences with you. And then there is a career acceleration and enhancement, because that's the time when you get the benefit of the placement. Because when you do this PGDBM program, you're not trained for the generalized recruitment process. It has worked out to be very specific, which helps you in learning the vocabulary which you must be using or which you should be using during the course of your interview. So the PGDBM Finance Pro career options, where the Finance Pro programs will take you, roles, salary, and career path is next thing which I'm going to discuss. I'm sure this is the moment many of you have been waiting for. After all, pursuing a professional program is a major commitment of your time, energy, and investment. And you want to know the value it will create for your future. But I want seriously to reframe how you should think about your career outcomes. And that's, I'm talking from my personal experience. Most of you think about career outcomes in terms which company should I join and what salary will I get. And those are important questions. But according to me, the most important question is, what path will you be on a 5 years from now? Because finance is a field where the path, the rate of growth matters far more than the starting point. So you have to be very careful in when you are setting up your expectations level. So I have brought this again, a very interesting slide. As you all can see, I have mapped 10 career paths available to Finance Pro graduates with entry level and mid career salary ranges for each. And I want you to go through these not just as looking as numbers, but as a real career stories, right? Many students ask me which of these is the best path. You can see that investment banking is there, equity research, asset management, wealth management, fintech, quant, portfolio, and many. I mean, these are the ones which are most popularly and available for the students who have done this PGDBM Finance Pro program. So, as I said, many students oftenly ask me which path is the best for them, and my honest answer always was the best path is the one that aligns with your strength and interest. Now, if you look at it, investment banking, equity research, they require a different set of skills, and I call these as the transferable skills. So, like some of you are drawn to the deal making energy of investment banking, some of you are more analytical and would like to thrive in an equity research or a portfolio management. Some of you are excited about the intersection of technology and finance, in which case, fintech is your domain. What is interesting about the PGDBM Finance Pro program is that it does not force you on into one track. The CFA integrated curriculum and the applied financial training prepares you for all these paths. Now, this is not an exaggeration, but somewhere down the lane, if you look into the program curriculum, you will find that interestingly, each of the areas covered through this program. You make your choice based on your interest and where you shine, not based on the limitations of your education. This brings me to another section which talks about industry demand and the future job roles. Here is something that most career counselors don't tell you. When you make an education decision today, you are not preparing for the job market of today. It's very clear. No matter whichever education we are offering to you, we are not preparing you for the today's job. We are preparing ideally it should be for preparing you for the jobs which are yet to emerge. You're preparing for the job market precisely of 28 and beyond when you will be graduating if you enroll for 2026 program. Finance job of the future, if you look into it, I've studied a lot and to figure it out, the five emerging high demand roles. The World Economic Forum Future of Job Report 2025 and Deloitte Finance 2030 Outlook have identified five roles as the highest growth finance positions. If you look at the slide, ESG investment analyst growing at 68% by 2028. Digital wealth advisor growing at by 61%, by 2028. Quantitative analyst growing by 52% by 2028. Investment technology manager growing 45% by 28. And this is the role that sits at the intersection of finance and technology, where you oversee the trading system, risk platforms, and AI-driven financial models. For you, if you're opting for this, it requires both financial depth and technology literacy. So what that brings me to another important section of my presentation, that what industry leaders are saying, and that's very interesting. You all should carefully take a note of it. The most powerful thing we can do is let the employees speak for themselves, because these are the people who will be interviewing you, and when they tell you what they are looking for you, then you should very listen to them carefully. What you're about to see on this next slide are perspective from employers at Morningstar India, EY India, CRISIL, and HDFC AMC, some of the most respected names in India and global finance. These are summarized perspectives drawn from the public interviews, industry publications, and employer survey, and they are remarkably consistent in what they are saying. Have a look at it. You find that the Morningstar, EY India, CRISIL, and HDFC AMC. That makes four employers are there with one clear message: the finance industry value professionals who can contribute from day one. I'm not going to read this because that will take a lot of time, but I have just tried to summarize the message that the finance industry values professionals who can contribute from day one. That means you have to contribute it. Your industry readiness level should be very high. CFA Level 1 training and knowledge signal commitment, credibility, and genuine interest in a finance career when you do this program. Employers are looking for candidates with applied skills, valuation expertise, research capabilities, and portfolio management knowledge, and not just academic understanding. Here's what I want you to take from this slide. These aren't theoretical observations. These are hiring criteria. And if some of the placement coordinators are with me, that they would definitely agree with that. These are the actual standards against which you will be evaluated when you walk into an interview at any of these organizations. So your success blueprint, that means, as I promised, that I am trying to inform you. So we have seen the data, we've seen the trends, we have seen what the recruiters are saying. Now is the time it's focused onto you. That's your roadmap. So many students tell us I want a career in finance most of the time, but they also added to it. But they say that I'm not sure how to get there. So knowing the goal is important, but having a clear roadmap is what turns ambition into action. I strongly believe that. So PGDM Finance Pro Program follows a structured 2 years roadmap designed to develop finance-ready, placement-ready professional with CFA 1 level training. PGDM Finance Pro transforms you into an industry-ready finance professional with CFA Level 1 expertise. Allow me to walk you through it. So you can see that it's a 2 years journey from classroom to career launch. That means when you get placed. As you can see on this slide, the PGDM Finance Pro unfolds across 5 phases over 2 years. Let me walk through each one and explain what it means to you. Semester first starts in July and ends in November 2026, according to that's a normal duration of the semester, and I call it as a foundation building. In this semester, you develop strong financial fundamentals through CFA1 level trainings, ethics and quantitative methods, financial statement analysis, and a professional Excel skill. Now, when I say professional Excel skill means not just typing the figures, it's really you are building up and looking at the larger perspective of the financial, figures. You learn to evaluate financial statement, apply quantitative techniques, and build your analytical foundations for different types of financial roles. So that's in the first semester you'll be doing it. Second semester normally starts from, if the duration is from November to April, and in this semester you develop understanding related to financial management, CFA Level 1, equity analysis, financial modeling, and industry expert sessions will be there that will help you understand and grasp the concepts more clearly. You move, and the second semester, you move from concepts to the real world application by building the discounted cash flow models, analyzing companies, and learning directly from the industry leaders through the industry patronage. Every institute has this industry interface cell, but if for this particular program, you require a dedicated team who works directly with the finance professionals from the industry, so that so that they get to the campuses and where they get the exposure exactly what's happening in the finance world. Then comes a time when you would like to check your skills really onto the job. That's a summer internship, we call it as. It is time for internship where you go to you undertake a research project. At the same time, CFA Level 1 exam preparation and placement readiness workshops are extensively done for you. Intensive CFA coaching prepares you for the exams, while the placement workshops strengthen your resume, interview skills, and the professional profile. And this time is very normally people think that from May to July it's like it's a holiday. No, it's not a holiday. It's a very sincere, dedicated, committed, and um, targeted time for you to prepare for the next 2 semesters. Moving on to the third semester, which is from August to December. This semester gives the exposure to the advanced portfolio and risk management techniques. Again, you will have a CFA Level 1 revision, mock interviews will be there, and industry certification projects definitely will be there. All this is for strengthening your expertise, sharpening your skills, and improving and increasing your industry readiness, and beginning of your placement preparation. That's more important. That third semester is basically the area where you have to become very serious about the career and your choices, especially in the finance domain. Moving on to the last semester, and which is from January to April 28th, placement seasons begin with your CFA level exam attempt, which is normally scheduled either you are going to do it in February or you're going to appear in May 28th. By graduation, you will be positioned as a finance ready professional with a CFA Level 1 attempt. Mind it, again, I'm making it very clear. Normally, people think that CFA is difficult and we have to clear all the four levels to get the benefit. No, even at the CFA level training, you get the knowledge. That's again a big differentiation. I have been repeating it so far. So what is interesting here is a deliberate pacing of the semesters. The program is designed for steady growth, giving you ample time to learn, practice, and prepare both for your CFA exams as well as for the job market. So where will you be in 5 years from now? So let's look at this slide and engage with it. I want you not to look at this as a diagram. Look at it as your future. Because every milestone on this timeline is achievable by you with the right program, the right preparation, and the right commitment. If you look into it, 2026, you begin your PGDM Finance Pro journey with an integrated CFA curriculum, gaining an edge from day one. Then in 2027, you complete your internship and build your real world experience that is strengthen your professional profile. That means you are now onto social media. You share your DCF models, LBA models with the LinkedIn community. You start targeting the professionals, sharing that what you know, how you know, what are your skills. In 2028, you attempt CFA Level 1, showcase practical finance projects, and enter the job market as a highly differentiated financial professional. I strongly believe that the journey is upward only. Provided sooner you begin, the greater will be your advantage. And today is the best time to start. Again, to share some more figures with you, 2 million plus, that's the number of additional finance professionals India will be needing by 2030. And that's not, I'm not saying that, that's a NASCOM. And look at the growth rates of the specific roles. Like I've already shown this. ESG, 68% growth. Wealth advisors, 61% growth. FinTech, 58% growth. Quant analysts, 52% growth. Risk tech managers, 44% growth. These are not incremental numbers, guys. These are a structural, multi-layer demand explosion, I would use the correct word. But here's the critical insight on the slide, and please pay close attention to this. Read this sentence here. The supply of a CFA ready professional is growing far slower than the demand. You are not entering a saturated job market. That's the clear meaning of it. You are entering a market with a structural talent deficit. And if you make a move right now, you're entering at the right time. This brings me to the point that is where your finance career begins. As we wrap up today's session, we have explored the opportunities, challenges, CFA advantage, and program outcomes. Now comes the most important part, that's on your part to take the decision. Where will you be in 5 years from now? Answer depends entirely on the decision you make today. Take a moment to compare these two paths, the one with the generic and the one with the PGDM Finance Pro. A traditional PGDM or MBA in finance puts you on a crowded talent pool, competing with thousands of similar graduates. You all must be familiar with the pool campus concept. Typically, starting salary range would be from 6 to 8 lakhs or maybe 5 to 8 lakhs per annum. Move on to the path B that talks about PGDM Finance Pro with the CFA Level 1 training. It helps you in standing it out as a finance specialist, targeting starting salaries from 7 to 10 lakhs per annum. Let me make it very clear. If you're starting a career at this point of time, salary doesn't matter that much. As I mentioned, you should be envisioning yourself in the stream of where will you be positioned 5 years from now. But still, considering the return on investment that you have put into the program, 7 to 8 lakh, 10 lakhs per annum is a quite decent amount, right? Now, many students ask me, is this guaranteed? And I want to be complete honest. No program can guarantee outcomes. What this program guarantee is the preparation, the knowledge, the credential preparations, the applied skill, the industry exposure. These are within your control. What you do with them is up to you, but I will tell you this. In all my experience working with finance aspirants, I have never seen a well prepared CFA trained applied finance professional struggling to find a good job. The market simply needs too many of them. So if you are trained, if you are skilled, and if you know what is the demand from the industry, I don't see anyone in the field of finance, struggling to find a good job. So the best time to make the right choice is now, when you have the clarity. I have given you that. You have all the information you need, and the opportunity is in front of you. So we have come a long way together today, and I want to close my presentation with one simple thought. Every great career in finance starts with a decision, not when you feel completely ready for it. It starts with a decision made with the best available information at the right time by someone who is serious about where he or she wants to go. So you have that information now, I believe. You have seen the numbers, you have heard the employers, you have seen the roadmap, you've seen the program, and you've very, very clearly seen that the opportunity exists. So what next? Market is waiting. PGDM Finance Pro is that decision you have to take. It is not only the path to a great finance career, but for students who want a structured, credentialated, applied financial education with CF integration and a placement process designed for finance specialists. It's a clear path, I know. And remember that the finance professionals for 2030 are being built right now. Your future in finance start with one decision, and I hope and I pray that you make it. With these words, I thank you all for being here with me today, and I look forward to be part of your finance journey. I'm available on LinkedIn. I'm also on YouTube. Anything for anything, if everything you want, I'll be there, right? So thank you all for being such a wonderful audience. Have a great day. Thanks. Anyone would like to ask any question if they have? Guys, are you there or not? Hello. So, okay, thank you very much. And I believe that you don't have any questions. Uh, See you on the other side of the uh, Academy Keynote series. Thank you.